Hello everyone, today we're gonna paint this 462. The Montreal Train Expo is next weekend, so if you can make it, that would be awesome. I know I'm going. I'll make a video on that. It might take me a couple of weeks to do it, but I will do it. So I just wanted to take a little aside here and show you what this is supposed to look like if it's in mint condition. And they do have some smoke deflectors, or elephant ears as I like to call them. So this one is one of the newer ones. Actually no, it's the exact same type, and it has traction tires. We'll fix that on the other one. Anyway, this is how they look if they're mint with the smoke deflectors. And lots of American railroads had smoke deflectors. Delaware and Hudson had some, Union Pacific had some, New Haven I think, and of course CN and CP. So you could get away with just putting a nice paint job on this and it would still look American. So I'll just shove this back in its box. Alright, so I'm gonna set up to paint this. I'm going to put it on a piece of cardboard that's gonna help me to keep it steady. So I'll just take a piece of cardboard, bend it like this, so it's gonna hold my train steady. And then I'll just stick that in there like that. That way I can paint under it if I need to, which I think will be a good idea. I'll just roll up some masking tape, and this will help me to keep it steady in there. Then I'll just set it on the box like that, so I can have a nice steady surface to paint it. I'm going to paint it with some Tremclad gloss black, or in the States I think it's called Rust-Oleum. So I'll do that off camera, but I've got a lot of videos on painting if you're interested. Oh, and I almost forgot, I'm going to put a light in this. So I want to mask my headlight, and for that I'm using school glue. Don't use the carpenter's glue, use the school glue, because the carpenter's glue is just too strong. It can actually cause damage to your setup. So use just a regular school glue, and it works just like masking tape. So I'll let that dry for a couple of minutes here. Well, alright, while my paint is drying, I'm gonna work on the drive system. So I am going to start by cleaning the wheels. I'm going to remove this little, let me get the camera to focus here. I remove the little pilot track here first, just so I can clean it just a little bit better. So I don't want to remove that plate just yet, because it's going to keep my gears, it's going to manage my gears for me. You have to get that screw to drop. That may not be so easy. It's like that, you know, working on N scale, everything's small, so you got to use your patience. That's what they say, you know, I have a lot of patience. P-A-T-E-N-S. That's why they call me the train doctor. And then I'll just screw it right back. And then instead of removing all these wheels one by one and cleaning them, I'm going to use my rag and just clean them like that. And then I'll put it on my test leads, and I'll move it a quarter turn, and clean that other quarter of a turn. So I'm going to do the rest of that off camera. As you can see, there's a groove here for a traction tire. So we're going to be replacing this now. These are the replacement tires I'm using. I replaced tires on my GS4 with this. These are the correct replacement tire for the C62, which I did get from Japan. I don't speak Japanese, but I speak model trains. So this is the Kato parts number. The exchange rate with the yen is very favorable. So if you need traction tires for your American steam engines, the GS4 or a Hudson or something like that, you can get them from Japan. I haven't ordered anything from Plaza Japan in quite a while, but I need to order something soon. I'm looking for a Z-scale track. I want to build a small Z-scale railroad. I looked into the Z-scale freight cars from Japan. There's some available, but they're not super attractive. I think I'll be buying them from Microtrains. So I'm using these really cheap Japanese engines, but I'll be using really good Microtrains or freight cars. I won't be going cheap for that. I'll just buy the ones that I like. And I'm not buying a ton. I'm going to buy 2 or 3 to start with the caboose. But it's going to be the things that I like. Spend a little bit more money. Okay, so for this, you have to remove the very small pin here. There's no choice. So make sure that you get a good night's sleep before you attempt this. All you got to do is pry under here. These, they don't have a tendency to fly off, but they are very small, so there's no spring involved here. They're just very small, so you have to manage them accordingly. And then we'll just lift this connecting rod up and slide the traction tire under that. And that will be that. So we'll just place it where it should go, and then we'll stretch it out to finish the job. Almost there. Did I say that the end scale was small and you needed patience? That's a fact. 100%. It's the correct part for that. Look at that. You can't see it from the side. So I'll put the pin back on, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. I had to do it off camera to keep the video kid friendly. So that's that. It's a pain in the derriere, pardon my French, but once it's done, you get the equal feeling of satisfaction. So I'm going to clean the little pilot wheels now. Having them off the engine, it allows me to just get in there and do it. And these conduct electricity. They pick up electricity for the engine. There's a little copper tab there that contacts the plate and brings electricity to the engine. So not just for looks, it's important to have them clean, but also for conductivity. So we'll do the same thing. The trailing truck also has plates to conduct electricity, so we'll get into that as well. This guy right here, it has some copper plates. Now usually Kato engines, great focus, Usually Kato engines, they have plates for conductivity. Usually it's stuck on or riveted on or screwed on. This is a rivet, which is unusual, so you can't get in there. You got to somehow clean these, so that's going to take a little while, but I'll get it done. So you have to do it like that. Take your time. I guess that's part of the fun. Hey, we're moving right along. Now that my wheels are clean, I'm going to remove this plate and we'll do a little bit of lubrication. So I keep the engine upside down because I do not want the gears to jump their place. That can even stain the plate. I love this little bottom plate because it has the brake detail. That is some good stuff. You can see all the inner workings of the 462, 464, C62. So we're gonna re-lubricate this. You don't need a lot, just a drop. This engine's such a smooth runner. By the way, I ran it last week. It ran great. I don't know why I'm cleaning it or lubricating it for that matter. There's really no need for anything. But, you know, since I have it in my hands, may as well. Then we'll just put this right back. But I put it upside down. That will not work. So I will put it the right side. Put it back correctly. And then I will just run it for 2 seconds just to spread out the lubrication, and also I guess I put some on the gears. I don't know if they really need it, but at the same time it's you're taking a guess because it might draw in some dust and ballast and scenery foam, but at the same time I'm here, may as well do it. So I'm just going to run the engine very slowly for about 50 seconds. It still runs beautifully. While I was doing that, I was looking at my valve gear, making sure everything was good. So I don't have access to the center bearing, but it makes no noise and everything is good there. There's a worm gear here, so I'm going to open this up and I'm going to try not to wreck anything. So I'm going to try to open this up and we'll probably put a drop on the worm bearing. Yeah, we'll put a drop on the worm bearing, and then on its two little plastic bearings. They could use some lubrication. And then we'll just snap that right back into place. And then I'll run it some more just to make sure that everything's good. So we're going to put an LED in there. This is what you order, 0603, white, 12 volt with resistor. These all have their little resistors. So we're going to take one of these out and we're going to install that on our drive system. There's a little weight that goes here, but because of my resistor, I need the extra room. So I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna take this away just for that. So how I do it, the absolute easiest way possible, is I will take my two LED leads. There's not much room under there, so thankfully these wires are very thin, so they'll fit under the boiler shell. So I'll take a piece of cardboard and I'll take one lead. That'd be awesome if my camera would focus. So I'll take one lead on one side, one lead on the other side, and then I'll sandwich them between the frame like that. I'll just sandwich them in there, and I think I'm going to put them here, but I'm going to sandwich them in there, and that should give me power. That should work my light. So I'll loosen these two screws. Oh, it's hard. Look at that. I did not expect that. I have to come back with a bigger tool, which I have. Oh, it's very tight. I did not expect that. So I'll loosen them. This one wasn't so tight. Not all the way. I just need a little slack in here just to slide my wires in, and that's all. Also, I take note that all LEDs are directional, so this will be directional lighting. So now I'm going backwards, so there's no light whatsoever. I'll just switch the direction around. And going forward, my light is nice and bright. So that is the lazy way of how to put light on an engine. So I would put the light, if I want to put a backup light, I would put it the opposite direction. Here, let me show you what I did. I put the resistor, which is the red, on this side, and the negative on this side. So that's all you need to do. Now I have to roll up this wire to get it out of the way. But I'm almost done with that. So my engine came back from the paint shop. Very shiny. So we're going to put decals on this. I've got my Canadian National decals ready to go. And I've got the numbers. I find the numbers on the Canadian National set, I find the numbers a little bit too pale. So I'm going to be using numbers from my Pennsylvania leftover set. So I'm just going to cut up what I need, and we'll be installing it. So I'll just slide my decal into place using my trusty toothpick or my finger, whatever the case may be. And then I'll slide it around till I find a place where I'm happy. Right in the middle sounds great. A little bit of decals like this makes a lot of difference. Same thing for the cab. A little bit of decals makes a lot of difference. So if you're a beginner, that's it, you're done. I'm gonna add some dull coat to make it look just a little more realistic. I put some some masking tape over the coal because I want to keep that shiny. With the dull coat, it looks much more professional. And this tender, I didn't do anything to it. It still looks pretty American. So there's not a ton to do to it. So I left the coal shiny, and I put the rest of the tender on the dull coat. Same thing from for the cab. Looks much better with the dull coat. I'm gonna remove the little piece of glue I put there, and that should let my light shine through. So I'm gonna put everything back together. I think I am gonna start by putting my my cab right on top of this. So I'm putting it back together. I'm showing you the steps. can start with the air tank at the front, and then bring back the rear of the locomotive. And that should snap right in there. Nice and easy. And then we'll bring in the tender. So the tender, the rearmost truck is just a little snap. That should snap back in. Like so. And then this goes under the firebox and attaches to the tender, and that has a little screw, so be sure not to lose that. Get your Phillips head screwdriver. And this, that can be a little tight, but you don't need it very tight. Still has to be able to swivel. And then we'll reattach that to the rest of the engine. Well, what do you guys think? Is this easy or hard to work on? Make sure you can see what I'm doing. So it'll just go in there and then put the screw back. I'm just gonna start it. I won't tighten it because I still want the front part of it to be able to move a little bit. We'll remove that screw. You gotta remove the screw completely so your front truck can get in there. There. Your front truck has to be able to get in there. And then we could put the screw back. I love the way these fit together. Everything's so precise. Everything's so precise, and it shows in the way it runs. So 20 years old, this engine, and it's still going. Okay, perfect. Let's put it on the track and see what we got. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. See you soon.